learn harmonica off of YouTube? Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a special day today. This is video number 800 and it just so happens to be a free Friday. The subject of the video is, can I learn harmonica from YouTube? I got the idea from a Mem Shannon post. Mem is an incredible, very funky, legendary veteran of blues music and local New Orleans music legend, Mem Shannon, M-E-M Shannon with 2 N's. He put up on Facebook, can you learn your instrument? Can you learn music from YouTube? Or do you think that YouTube or the internet would have helped you learning? So anyway, I didn't bother answering Mem on Facebook. I just made this video. So shout out to you, Mem Shannon. I love you. I admire you. I look up to you. And shout out to my brother, my big brother, Lee Mack, for the subject of motives. Now, in the following video, the sound didn't come out as good as I would have liked it. I normally record in here with the nice microphone and everything, but I'm out on the porch smoking a cigar, kicking back, and we're just talking not only about can you learn music from the internet, can you learn how to play music, harmonica from YouTube videos, but about how to do that properly, whether or not you should do it, how you do it, and a whole lot of other things, including motives. What are your motives? What are my motives? I hope you enjoy the video. Number 800, 45 minutes. Kick back, relax, put on the headphones, do some dishes, get some chores done, make your wife, make your husband happy. Dig the video at the same time. I'll holler at you later. Thank you very, very much. Not a student, a fellow YouTuber, follower of this channel, subscribe today. This thing. I covered it in one of my other lessons on turnarounds, but a student asked me, a YouTube person asked me, a video student, this is what this video is going to be about. Can you learn harmonica off of YouTube? So this guy asked me, so do I even call them students? Maybe, right? Maybe people that watch this are students, right? I'm certainly teaching. Hopefully you're learning, right? That's what it is. That's a rare one right there. Some people gave me a hard time. Love the cigars. Read up on it. Read up on it before you write up on it. You know, I try not to tell people what to do. You know, what are the videos? I'm telling you what to do. Right? Not really. I'm just making suggestions. I'm offering you avenues of pursuit. Anyway, this guy asked me, he said, I can do that lick, but I can't get it up to 90 beats per minute. So I'm not sure if this is 90 or not. All right, we could time it. Let me see if I can get it. It is. Let's go faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, he said he keeps hitting the 5. Now, I'm kind of hitting the 5 on the way up, aren't I? On the way up of the second, the second octave jump. Kind of sloppy. One of the things I thought about was, what if I tongue block the top one but lip purse the bottom? That almost worked. It sounds good too. It's kind of hard to do though. But it's cleaner maybe. There's that little chord in there. Let's slow it down. incredible harmonica here with lemon in it and everything. Lemon floating in there, metal straw. Smoking a rare cigar on a nice, beautiful, humid New Orleans fall day. Can you learn harmonica off of YouTube? I don't know. Here's what I do know. Knowledge doesn't hurt you. It can't hurt you. But discipline is the only thing that's going to carry you through. When I started, there wasn't any YouTube. If I wanted to learn something about harmonica, I had to go to a show and try to talk to the musician, the harmonica player after the show. And I did that. Sometimes I had to drive really far. Sometimes that person would tell me, I don't have time to talk to you, or I don't want to talk to you. Or sometimes they would say something short, like, just listen to old records and you'll get it. It's happened. Stuff like that. Thing is, I was going to do it anyway, regardless. And I was going to learn this stuff one way or the other, either on my own or with help. Whatever help I could get. If I had had the internet, I think it would have helped. But would everything be the same as it is today? Would the amount of information actually distracted me from my original path? Was there something to be said for learning tongue block octaves? And it taking me months to learn them, and then practicing them for months. And then learning to put the little flutters in. Never could get that side-to-side thing. Don't start with me. Can't get it fast enough. Anyway, I think it's genetic. I don't care what Dennis Grubman says. I mean, I do care what he says, but not about that. That's my boy. Been friends for 30 years. Just about. Since like 2001, 2002, something like that. 20 plus Anyway, I did a video a while back called Focus on One Thing. Somebody wrote underneath recently that they liked that video. Shout out to you, man. Anyway, look, you got to have the discipline. You got to have the discipline. And every time I put out a new video, or you go find, look at 17 years worth of these. Plus, other people have many years worth of these too. Adam Gusso, Ronnie Shellis, Liam Ward, Tomlin Leckie, just to name a few. Now Jonah Fox too, has got some, and harmonica.com, that fella, Luke, he's got some. You don't even have to wait a week. You could spend all 24 hours of every day watching different videos from different harmonica teachers. That's too much information in my opinion. So, is it helpful that this information is out there? Of course. Of course it's helpful. You get to learn all about stuff none of us knew about. However, if you don't get good at one thing or hang on to one thing long enough and you keep looking for the next video, that could hurt you. The knowledge can't hurt you. The act of not spending the time with one thing, the discipline with one thing, can hurt you. This is what the Patreon videos are like. This video right here, you're watching YouTube. As I sit here and I talk, I have a cigar, and we discuss things, real things as I see them. I'm not saying they're real. I'm saying as I see them, as I think they are real, as I believe them to be real. It doesn't mean that they're right. When I first started making YouTube videos 16, 17 years ago, I had a lot of opinions about things. This is the right way to do that. This is what's cool. This is what isn't cool. This is what I think about this and what I think about that. I'm older. I'm 50 years old now. Not real old, probably younger than most of the viewers. But I'm old enough to know that I don't know. I don't have all the answers. One thing that I do know is that I know enough about not knowing to know that I might be wrong. But there are a few things over the years that I've recognized to be the truth. And one of them is that large amounts of practice don't necessarily make you a better player. Focused, deliberate practice makes you a better player. That staying on one subject and seeing it through for a while is better than learning 9 different things that are new and exciting, just so that you can say you know them. What I have learned is that opinions change, that my opinions have changed. Things that I was passionate about in my 20s, I no longer am so passionate about now. Things that I didn't care about much in my 20s, I care a lot about now. If it hadn't have been for not having the internet and sitting with those Little Walter recordings, I wouldn't sound like that today. If I hadn't fallen in love with Little Walter, I don't think I'd have been ready for Pat Ramsey when I heard it. Look, I can't make you love Little Walter. It's a different day. Maybe that doesn't sound as exciting to you as it did to me when I was young, as it does to me now. But, you know, a lot of people come to me because of the way I play the Pat influenced. Right, all that stuff in the overblows. All that stuff, all that fancy stuff, they come to me, they like that. And then I tell them about Little Walter. Now, none of that's note for note, Little Walter. It's just how he played. It's just got that vibe on it. In my 20s and in my 30s, in my 20s, I could play all that stuff note for note. I knew the whole thing, juke, all of it. I learned it all, and that's how I did it. We called the songs, and I played it, the solo that Little Walter. But don't do that anymore. Why? Well, I mean, Little Walter didn't do it. He didn't play his own solos twice. He tried to get the spirit of it. Overall, after studying years and years and years, same thing with Pat. I used to be able to play all of Pat's songs note for note. Well, now I don't know how to do that, but I know how to play like Pat. Butterfield, same example. Adam Gusso, other people I listen to coming up. At one point, I started learning their solos note for note. I do a lot on this channel about the chords and scale exercises and major triads and all of this stuff. Right? All of that stuff. But when I actually play, I'm not really thinking about a lot of that. You know, so it's the same thing with Pat or with Butterfield. I'm not thinking about one particular song with that lick in it. I just know that lick now. I know how he played. Like, what were the skeletal structure of it. Same with Little Walter. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. I hear people playing with Jason Ricci vibes. People that have gotten the main like elements of whatever it is that I do and are able to replicate that. That's a weird thing to hear, right? It's a good smoke. I know Pat thought it was weird when he heard me doing it back to him, playing his stuff back to him, trying to sound like him. I took a girl to see him once. This girl I was dating real seriously for a few years named Sunshine, before Brady. And I asked her after the show, I said, what do you think of Pat? She said, well, he's like you. He plays like you, except a lot smoother. I thought that was pretty accurate because I was kind of nervous at that time in my playing. Probably still am a little bit. A little nervous edge on it. I think that's gone away since the last 10 years, since moving back here in New Orleans. It's kind of calmed down a little bit. Plus, I've been through some life things that have slowed me down. Stuff happens in your life, and hopefully that gets into your music. Take your time, not just on your solos, not just in between the notes, not just the literal expression of less is more in your music, in your solo. Take that advice and put that into your life. Maybe right now, less isn't more in your playing. Maybe right now, you want to play 1,000,000 notes. Go for it. But just get good at that. Don't play 1,000,000 notes sloppy. If you're going to play fast, don't do this. Don't do that. Do this. Right? You know, I was listening to this interview with Charlie Parker. Look at the ash on that. La vitre. Hello. ¿Qué pasó? I was listening to this interview with Charlie Parker. Yardbird. And he said, wow, what was it? He said, I always wanted to play with precision. He said, I always thought music should be precise. I liked that. I wanted that. Well, Bird played a lot of notes, right? Charlie Parker played a lot of notes. He was fast. He played fast. Did he slow down sometimes? Sure. Right? Some songs, sometimes in the middle of the song, but a lot of the time he was playing all that stuff. That bebop, that was part of the music, was being busy. Part of bebop was busy. Miles Davis played a lot of notes when he played with Bird. Okay. Later on, he slowed down and did other stuff. But in the beginning, he was young. He played a lot of notes. That's okay. Why not? Let him do it. But what he did was he played them with precision. Bird, Miles, Dizzy, they all played them with precision, with excellence. That's what my friend is asking at the beginning of this video. This. He said, I can do it, but when I get fast, I hear that 5 blow sitting in there. Right there on the way up. That sound, that little gliss sound. Right there, that little gliss. My friend, whoever that is, I forget your name, I can't remember who asked that comment. Whoever asked that is striving for excellence. He says, when I get to around 90 beats per minute, I can't do it without doing that. So what did I write back? He said, do you know any tricks? I said, I don't know. Let me try. And let me see if I can come up with anything. Because I don't know. Maybe I can't do it either, right? It didn't go out. I'm just correcting it. Probably don't even have to. Can't let a smoke like this go out. Not a nice one. So I had to try. And I just noticed myself glistening past that 5 too. Just like he said. So I came up with this tongue block thing. Right? But I don't even know if that's fast enough. But anyway, the point is, we strive for excellence. We stay on that one thing. We don't just go, okay, well, I can do it and I can do it really fast, but there's a little sloppiness. Okay? Unless you want it, unless artistically you're going for like a drunken, sloppy sound, which honestly you might be on some songs, but most of the time you want to, that should be a choice, not something that happens because you can't do it the other way. Feel me? A choice. Can you learn harmonica from YouTube? Absolutely! Will it make you a better musician? I don't know. I don't know. Information does not necessarily equate to knowledge. If the shape of the world today is any proof of that, then that's certainly true. Information does not necessarily equate to knowledge. Or maybe it's better to say information does not equate to wisdom. Or in our case, information does not necessarily equate to performance or an excellent performance. I have been working for years. Another thing, Charlie Parker, vibrato was not a big part of his playing. I don't think Adam remembers this, Cusso, but he once told me, he said, I'm trying to play without vibrato. I remember hearing that going, wow, that's so cool. Like, I never thought about that. Ah, see? It's so hard. Because it takes so long to learn how to go. For me, it's from the gut. Got videos on that. 3 videos, or at least. It's from the throat in. It's a combo throat gut for me. I never could get the throat one. I was always bummed out about that. Years later, I was grateful. Because knowing me, I would have overdid it. Like some people today overdo it, in my opinion. Which means nothing. And it may change. Just like it changed once already. When I first heard that Butterfield heavy-duty throat vibrato, well, I thought that was about the greatest thing in the world. And if I couldn't do anything else with that would be great. Well, guess what? For whatever reason, the way God made a mooncat, couldn't do it. All those years later, I was like, man, I'm not so sure I like that all the time. Listening to other people doing it. Glad I didn't learn how to do it like that. Now, 10 years from now, I might be like, man, that's vibrato was the coolest thing ever. Again. Little things, the subtleties, the excellence. Excellence. What is excellence? So, when I'm practicing, secondary band coming off, when I'm practicing, what am I shooting for? Perfection. If I can't reach perfection, okay, I'm human. That's what I'm reaching for. Not sounds kind of like it. Not like I think that's correct. Right? Not those things. This goes back to my 20s. The other thing in that Charlie Parker interview, they asked him. They said, they asked him if he was a genius or something to that effect, or like it's so amazing what you did. And he said, well, it's not amazing to me because I spent 11 to 15 hours a day in my music practice. So did I. Now again, I believe today that quality of practice time is more important than quality. But you have the instrument in your mouth for 11 to 15 hours a day, you're going to be good, regardless of whether it's that focused or not. But I was focused. I wouldn't do nothing but learn Little Walter, and I'd stay on this, and I'd make sure that this lick, I'd play that first lick, or whatever lick it was that I couldn't do. I would play it 200-300 times on a cassette tape until I was fairly positive that I was playing it exactly the way that he did. And I didn't have any discipline in any area of my life other than this. Now, if you're just a hobbyist, don't worry about all this stuff. Just have fun. But still, take one video and stick with it, because the better you get at one thing, the more fun you're going to have, right? But you don't have to learn everything, okay? But the subject of excellence, my friend Anders, Osborne, let me pick up that name I just dropped. He's always talking about excellence. And it used to drive me crazy, right? You ever see this guy? He's like too much of a perfectionist. He's too puritanical. Talking about all these sacrifices that we need to make in our life and all this stuff. I don't understand it. I understand it now. I'm beginning to understand it. Let me give you another metaphor. There's another person that talks about excellence, and she's this female minister named Joyce Myers. And she's got, this Christian TV show, and whether you're a Christian or not, she's got some good stuff that you might find helpful. But one of the things she talked about was excellence. And she gave this analogy. She said, what if I told this entire congregation that I had baked chocolate chip cookies, and after the sermon, that out in the lobby, I was going to be serving my homemade chocolate chip cookies? Would you come? And everybody said, oh yeah, of course we come eat Joyce Meyer homemade cookies and get to meet Joyce Meyer, right? Then she said, well, what if I told you that even though the vat of cookie dough was hundreds of gallons of cookie dough, that I put 1 tablespoon of dog poop into that, and he couldn't really taste it or anything. He couldn't taste it at all, but it was true that I did put 1 tablespoon of dog poop into that. Would you still come eat my cookies? Right? And everybody said, I don't know. Well, honestly, I don't think I would want to eat the cookies. I would not want to eat the cookies, even if they came from somebody I respected. Is there any dog poop? Is there a tiny teaspoon of, sounds good enough, sounds close enough, yeah? Or are we striving for excellence? Are we going to put hundreds of gallons of pure cookie dough in there? Not 1 tablespoon of dog food. Are we willing to throw out hundreds of gallons of cookie dough because there was 1 tablespoon of dog food? Truthfully, sometimes yes and sometimes no. But there are degrees. And you have to decide for yourself what those degrees are. If you are diligent, YouTube will be an incredible helper to you. If you are easily distracted and you are expecting somebody else to do all the work for you, and you think if you watch the video then you should be able to do it, you're wrong. It doesn't work that way. The lesson is in the doing, not the finishing. A famous philosopher and occultist named Aleister Crowley once said, magic. Let's substitute the word practice for magic, or music, right? Practicing music, unassuaged of purpose, delivered free from the lust of result, is in every way pure and perfect. That's what it's about. What are my motives? So let me tell you something, guys. My views on YouTube have plummeted. I don't know what kind of algorithm is going on right now. I don't know if I'm not being recommended, but I would drop a video and I would expect my normal thing was about 100 views per hour for a few days until it was up to 3,500 views or more. I'm lucky if the last bunch of videos I dropped, I'm lucky if I got 150, 200 views in an entire day, as opposed to 1,000 something. So I don't know. But what are my motives? Right? Is it to make money here? A little bit. Right? I make a little bit of money. I get to pay my car insurance off of those ads that roll across the screen. That helps. It helps. It's a motivator. But I did this for years before I had that. My main motivator is I made a commitment to you that once a week. And I have a huge motivator coming from Patreon. That those people are over there supporting me because I do this for free. Right? But if they leave, if my Patreon numbers go down, you don't see me taking a Friday off. I haven't missed a Friday in over 5 years. So why do I do it? With a love. Because I made a commitment. Because it is now part of my lifestyle. That should I stop making free Fridays or say that I'm going to take this off without formally announcing it, without thinking about it, if I just say I don't feel like it this week, well, what am I worried about? I'll tell you what I'm really worried about. It's not the money. It's me. I'm worried about me. I made a commitment. I'm now no longer keeping the commitment. That's something to look at. Is it dangerous? Maybe not. But it could be. It could be. It could be a sign of me putting a little dog poop in my life. Sin compromiso. Spanish, without compromise. We can't fully meet that, but we can strive for that. That's excellence. That's excellence. Can YouTube help with that? Sure. Could it hurt with that? Nope. It can only hurt if you don't have an excellent mindset of how you're going to use this material. How should you use it? I don't know. I didn't have it coming up. I just listened to old records. I studied Little Walter. I fell in love with the music, and I recognized that the people that I was hanging out with were without compromise. That they were opinionated, and they said, "This is how you should do it." And I said, "Okay." I didn't buck. I didn't fight until I knew it was time to buck and fight. Until I heard Pat Ramsey. Until I really heard Howard Levy. That was when I knew that it was okay for me to rebel in my own little way. But I already had the homework underneath my belt. I could already play the Little Walter convincingly. Some of the Big Walter. Some of the Sonny Boy. A lot of the George Smith. I have a love of that, a genuine love of that kind of music. just had it, you know, and maybe you do too, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't need to study all that stuff. Maybe you can bypass it all and not do any of that work and, you know, go straight from skip Little Walter, skip William Clark, skip James Cotton, skip Mark Hummel, skip Rod Piazza, skip Kim Wilson, skip Sonny Boy, skip all them guys. Maybe you can go right past that, straight to Pat Ramsey, straight to Will Wild, straight to Jason Ricci, straight to Howard Levy, straight to Philippe Gers, straight to all of these fantastic players. Hey, Konstantin Reinfeld, maybe you can. I'm serious. I'm not being sarcastic. Maybe you can. Like I said, what do I know? But I just want to say I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad that I didn't. And there was no internet then, and that's what we had. We had that stuff on vinyl, and I'm glad I learned it. And I'm glad, more than anything, that I displayed some area of discipline in one area of my life, which was music, that I had never been capable of displaying ever before in any other area of my life, except for maybe academics in high school, some of the time. Certainly not in math, and little in science. Sin compromiso. It's up to you. The love you take is equal to the love you make. And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. Hey, what's happening, bro? Take it easy. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Jason Ricci's YouTube channel. 16 years of incredible YouTube harmonica-related content. That's right, 16 years. At this point, over 500 free instructional videos. If you're interested in what kind of harmonicas I play, microphones, amplifiers, pedals, any harmonica-related products, please check out my sponsors. These sponsors, in one way or another, also help keep these videos going. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Blue Moon Harmonicas, bringing you the best in custom harmonicas. We got custom cover plates, custom combs. You can get your name put on it, just like me. Reed work, refurbished pre-war Marine bands. Look at that, they put the little brace there, no more crushing the covers. The Lone Wolf Blues Company, very best in pedals, microphones, almost anything you need for your amplified harmonica need. The Lone Wolf Blues Company, right here out of Ponchatoula, Louisiana. We got you. Harp gear, amplifiers. They got big ones, they got small ones. You know what they sound like? They sound like the best tube amps on the market. Harp gear amplifiers out of Ocala, Florida. Pedal pad, pedal boards. Incredible custom pedal boards built to last, made by two brothers who really care. Hohner harmonicas. A Mooncat loves the Hohner harmonica. I like the Marine band. I get Tom to put the little special 20 cover plates on it. He tricks them out, but they play great right out of the box. All of these sponsors are linked below in the description box. What else is linked below? Patreon. Consider becoming a Patreon patron. You'll be supporting me. You'll be supporting the cause. You'll be keeping these videos free for everybody. And you'll get a lot of extra content over at Patreon. You'll get vlogs, occasionally some extra lessons, some posts that you might not see on Facebook. A lot of stuff that I can't say or won't say here on YouTube is over on Patreon. I love my Patreon family. You guys are the best. If you're not into the monthly subscription, you can also give me a one-time tip at Venmo or PayPal below too. I'm a touring musician and I play all over the country, really all over the world with all kinds of different acts. Check out my website, www.mooncat.org. In all seriousness, YouTube, Patreon, my sponsors have absolutely changed my life. Subscribe below, set reminders for the videos. Don't miss any events. Every single Friday there's a free harmonica lesson and a lot more. Even if you're just subscribing, you're helping me a lot. Those of you that are joining me on Patreon, you guys are helping me to make better decisions with my career. In all sincerity, thank you so much, YouTube, for just an incredible, incredible outlet. It's a video diary. I get to look back at 16 years of these videos. I had a lot of new friends, some really fine musicians, made some great contacts in the industry, and it's all because of you. Thank you, my harmonica family.